Fantastic. Okay, guys, we've met many times before and we've talked about mange lots of times, but for anyone here that's joining us that is new to the mange space, mange is sadly a fatal disease that occurs in lots of different species. The scabies might, but is specific, very bad in our wombat populations. 2 out of the 3 wombat species we have in Australia can get mange. It causes some awful symptoms. It causes fur loss, big plaques to form on their skin, which causes them to be very itchy and uncomfortable. They lose weight, become dehydrated, get secondary infections, lose some of their senses, and ultimately, if left untreated, it is fatal. For decades now, amazing carers have battled against this disease and faced many challenges while doing so. Combative community members have sometimes been very difficult, especially in some rural locations. Uncooperative wombats, we all know that they like to throw burrow flaps down burrows, which isn't very helpful for us when we're trying to treat them. Expensive and long treatment regimes, which is hopefully becoming a thing of the past as more research happens, but that's always been quite difficult to overcome. And just a lack of manpower, too much mange and not enough boots on the ground. Wires have really committed in the last couple of years to try and minimise some of these challenges. We've delivered funding to research projects, formed strategic partnerships like our latest one with MSD Animal Health, who manufacture Provecto, and we have been able to fully subsidise medication and equipment for members of WISE, which has been absolutely fantastic, and we hope to continue that for a long time. One of the challenges that we really recognised a couple of years ago was this lack of manpower, and we really wanted to attack that. We know that in other states, state departments have allowed members of public who aren't wildlife carers to treat mange in situ, and it has really worked. It's given them a lot more people to do one-on-one mange treatment, but also big population treatments. And we really wanted to know how we could do that here. We know that it was happening in New South Wales because carers were so stressed and just didn't have enough resources, but it wasn't strictly allowed. We're very happy to announce, and this is what this webinar is all about, that we put a proposal through to National Parks and Wildlife Service, and it has been approved. So we are officially launching the Community Mange Program, which will allow members of public to become restricted members of WISE and help us treat mange. It's a huge deal. We're so proud of the work that many people have put in to make this happen. And tonight we're going to tell you all a little bit about it and hopefully get you really excited. The new volunteers or community mange volunteers will be really restricted in what they can do. So they come on board under WISE license, so they can get all our insurances. They get a bespoke training course that is just a really simple online course that's about 45 minutes, and they can do that for free until the end of the year. After the end of the year, it might be $10, but we're going to see what we can do to keep it free of charge. Watch this space. On a technical side, this has actually been quite difficult to do. And as I said, we're so grateful to National Parks for working through this with us. So as you can see above me over there, this is what had to happen in a technical way for us to be able to provide this kind of license. So this is a license variation, and what it basically allows us to do is increase what we are offering people to be volunteering. So if you can see point 23, mange treatment volunteers are only authorised to treat bare-nosed wombats in situ. They can't come into care with any of these, with these new volunteers. They can't be captured, they can't be held. That's really important. So it's just when we're treating free roaming wombats. They are to use the methods that are prescribed in the training course that we've created, and they're only to target adult wombats, which is a wombat that we estimate to be over 15 kilos. They can treat bare-nosed wombats on their own land or on other people's land if they're supervised by WISE experienced carers. This went up to 0.22. So these people are allowed to treat using 2 APVMA permits, which wires have sub-permits for. And this is the permit number 89982. We want to get very technical, which allows a maximum dose of 20 mils of Cydectin to be given to that wombat for 15 weeks. Also, the newer permit, permit 90837, which allows Prevecto spot-on treatment to be used once a month for a maximum of 3 doses. Now, that was kind of the technical side, but what it means basically for us is that when a member of the public hears about this program, they will go to a webpage on the WISE website. They'll enroll in the program free of charge, as I mentioned, and they will complete the training course. It's a great training course. It's completely online, very simple, and should give them a really good understanding of mange and the current treatment methods that we use. Next, once they've completed the course, our membership team will be notified. They'll send them a lovely welcome email with a link to get a free 5 years WISE vest, so they can safely do mange treatment by the road. And then the membership team will let the branch know, maybe probably once a week, a list of all new mange volunteers that have signed up and completed the course. After that, they can start treatment, which is really exciting. And what is even more exciting is that these wombats that will be treated in this new program are going to be recorded on Tall Emu. So as I'm sure a lot of you guys know now, we are trying to move from Carer HQ to Tall Emu, the new database. So this is the first lot of animals that will be recorded on the new system, which is really, really cool. And we can't show it to you tonight, but we will before the program launches, and we're really excited to see it on that. National Parks are very excited to have all of this information recorded, so we can put in new fields that we didn't have on Carer HQ. We can properly identify that it's mange that caused the illness, and we can do some different fates, which will kind of be like being treated instead of just having them in care. So a bit more specific to what we're doing. Now, we know that this is a huge undertaking, this new program, and we want to try and support members and these new volunteers as much as we possibly can. So head office is going to invest a lot of time and energy into promoting this program. This will be through a variety of ways. We'll be doing a media release later in the month or early October. It'll be a lot of social media. We're going to be updating the webpage. We're going to be creating new marketing materials. So we'll replace the wombat brochure that's in circulation now, and hopefully have that available in the shop before it launches. We'll be doing some posters for you guys to put on community notice boards and to have them available when you're doing fundraising stalls or Bunnings barbecues, things like that. The new volunteers will get support from our membership team as well as our training team, and we'll also be doing a education, basically an education campaign at the same time that we are raising awareness for this program. As you all know, the faster we can get to them, the higher their chance of survival is. So we really want the public to start being able to diagnose and understand what they're seeing and know what they do when they see a wombat with mange. So hopefully we'll get to these wombats sooner and have more people to be able to treat them. That's the plan. We see that there will be 2 different types of people that want to be involved in this program. One will be landowners that have wombats on their property that they see every day and that they potentially can treat themselves. We assume that a lot of those people will come through to the WRO. The WRO will be trained to be able to talk to these people and promote the program to them. The other group of people that we suspect will be interested are just concerned and passionate members of the community, and they will come to us likely through the webpage and sign up. And then you guys, the branch, can, I guess, assign them wombats that you already know of that need treatment. These people will also be ideal to help with population mange treatments. So if you're treating, 100 burrows, we can potentially get a little army together for you with these new volunteers to go out and do those weekly burrow flat refills. In saying that, sorry, I did miss that first point, which is a really exciting point. We will be doing a new bulk ordering system. I know, it's fantastic that we're able to fully subsidize the costs of Cydectin and burrow frames and stuff, but I also recognize that it's tricky for you guys as you have to outlay the costs and then go through the reimbursement process. That is hopefully going to end. So what we're going to start doing is head office will do a bulk order of these items and medications once a month. We'll set up a really easy Google order form that you guys can fill out when you're ready, and we'll be paying for it and sending it out to you. So it really eliminates that sort of going back and forth with finance for you guys, and it means you're no longer out of pocket. So what we want to do as a part of this program is create a new role. Some branches we know already have mange coordinators that they have set up. Obviously, there are wombat coordinators in all the branches that have wombats as well, but we want to create a specific role for this program and make it an official role. So this will be the mange team leader. Now, this person can be the wombat coordinator, it can be the mange coordinator if you have that already in your branch, or it can be someone completely new. We're going to ask that people nominate themselves to head office within a fortnight, but I'll get to that in a little bit. Before you think about whether you want to nominate yourself, I just want to talk about some of the expectations that you'll have in this role, just to be really honest and upfront, so you can make sure you're happy to take on these roles. So we would really like the mange team leader to be the first contact in the branch to these new mange volunteers. We want them to offer support and guidance, be able to help with that initial diagnosis, whether it's going to visit the property and seeing the wombat for yourself, or just seeing it through a photo. We all know it's pretty simple when they're severe, mainly when they're severe, to identify it over a photo or some footage. You'll be recommending the best treatment regime, whether that's burrow flaps, Brevecto, if they can walk up to them, and also organising any vet treatment or euthanasia when required. These people will not be able to organise euthanasia, and we really want to shield them a little bit from that, especially when they're brand new. So that will really lie with the experienced WISE members. Just like a wombat coordinator or any other species coordinator, you would be the point of contact for WRO. So if something is outstanding, if there's been mange reported in an area and it hasn't been accepted on X matters for a certain amount of time, you will be the first port of call in the escalation from WRO, and then they'll work their way through WISE members. The new community mange volunteers won't be on X matters, so it'll really be up to this person to what's the right word, give out mange cases to these volunteers. So you'll really be able to coordinate who is doing what treatment within your group. We recently sent out wildlife cameras along with some flaps and medicine cups. We would like this person to sort of at least know where all these cameras are and keep track of them. This can be done by the equipment officer. If that's already been done, we're absolutely fine with that, as long as someone knows where the cameras are and they're being used for mange, and we get told if any of them broken, all that kind of stuff. You will be the person that is submitting those bulk orders. Again, it can be the equipment officer. That it is up to you, but either the mange team leader or the equipment officer will be submitting those order requests. You'll be also distributing medication and equipment to the new mange treaters. So I imagine if you're ordering 15 litres of Cydectin, you'll be decanting it into smaller bottles and giving those smaller bottles out to these new volunteers. You will also be required to start the record on Tool Emu. The new volunteers will be filling out all the records, so they'll be doing all the details, but you'll just be going in at the end to verify that that all looks correct, similar to what happens with coordinators on Carer HQ at the moment. This last one, if I can get away from it, basically just says you'll be required to attend a quarterly meeting to review the program. As I mentioned earlier, it's a pilot program. This isn't in concrete. We really want to make sure it's a success. So a key to that will be us all catching up once every couple of months or sooner if we feel like we need to make changes. assessing the program, making any changes that we need, upping support if we need it. We can do targeted recruitment through social media of any areas that really need it, or we can, find some more funding for particular items if you guys need more cameras or different medications, anything like that, we can talk about at these meetings. We can also review how toilemia going, as that's going to be quite new to us all as well. So next steps, we would like anyone that's interested in this team leader role to nominate themselves within 2 weeks. An email will go out by the end of this week with this recorded webinar, with also some details of the position description for that role. Once we have some people nominated, we will make some decisions, call everyone into a meeting, and we can further go through the new ordering system and also how to work on toilemia, which is really, really exciting. We hope that we're going to publicly launch this by the end of September or early October. Little Giants Wines, who you may have seen before, delicious wines, they've got a wombat on their bottle. They're actually sponsoring the launch of this program, which is really, really exciting. So they're going to be named in the media release and a couple of other things. Just if you see their name, that's why. And then I guess we start the program and see how we go. We'll just, as I said, keep meeting, keep refining, keep improving the program. And we really hope that this can help you guys on the ground. You do such amazing work, and we designed this program to help you guys treat more wombats and continue doing what you're really passionate about, and really give you support. So we're here for you. Whatever you think you need to help make this work, please let us know. I'm sure you all have my emails, but it'll be on the email later this week anyway, if you have any questions at all. Now, I have seen a couple of questions in the chat if we want to go to those quickly. If anyone else has any questions, chuck it in there now and I'll see how many we can get to. Rebecca question, I will come back to you on email. That was the only one. I thought there was a few. Has anyone else got any questions? You can unmute yourself and talk, or put your hand up if you know how to do that, or put it in the chat. Yep, someone's got their hand up.
Tony,
sorry, Tony. I was scrolling. There's too many of you. Tony, what's the question?
Yeah, hi, Kristie. Look, yeah, Tony Delafos from Mid-South Coast. This is a very, very positive step. You know, it's something that I think mange treaters have been looking for a very long time. Landowners have always been the best people to treat wombats on their own property. So this idea of stewardship is fantastic. It's unexplainable why, a farmer who might have moxidectin already on their property treating cattle and other livestock are unable to use it, to treat wombats. So look, I'd congratulate you on this initiative. It's very, very good. Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Tony. I love that was a question. That was just nice.
Hi, can I have a question?
Yeah, of course.
Sue.
I'm just wondering how it's going to be initially promoted. Are we going to be able to put something on our local community pages to get out to the areas where wombats are?
Yeah, absolutely. So marketing is working on a whole bunch of assets for us. Some will be digital, so we'll handle that over. So there'll be things that we can share on social media to promote it. And we'll also be doing like hard copy assets as well. So like posters for community notice boards, brochures, all those kind of things. We'll be working on media as well, not only sort of New South Wales wide, but we'll do localized media as well. In a couple of months, if we find some areas, or in 6 months or whatever, we find some areas have been more successful than others, or we need more people in some areas, we can do more localized media. If you guys think of anything else that you want us to make, yep, Sue.
So you're doing the media. I mean, we have local community pages that would be the best for us, but that how would we get the information onto our local pages?
Yeah, great question. I think local community pages are such a good idea. So I guess if you guys, obviously, if I'm thinking of Facebook groups, you have to sort of apply to be a member of those Facebook groups. So we could potentially supply you guys with the digital assets and you could add them to the group, or we could try and do it as wires, but they're less likely to accept us if we don't obviously live in the area.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we could try both. And yeah, if anyone else has any other ideas, we're all open. The marketing team is working on it at the moment. So throw some ideas at us if you've got them. I will just mention, I'm not sure if I did earlier, I was too excited. The pilot program is only approved in wires areas at the moment. So we'll only be able to accept people within our boundaries. I hope that when the pilot program is successful, national parks will be able to extend it to other groups and cover all of New South Wales. But at this stage, it's just wise members. Let me just have a look at the. Cara, I'm not really sure what you mean. If you want to unmute yourself.
Yeah, sorry. I'm typing on my phone. It doesn't make any sense. I guess I'm just curious about how to best manage the volunteers, and if there's a system in place so that we're managing the volunteers and the amount of doses amongst all the wombats, so that we don't overdose wombats, or that I guess if there's a system that works that we can be shared amongst coordinators, so that it's simple and it's easy, if that makes sense.
Do you mean in terms of like setting a treatment regime, or
I guess
have been treated?
Yeah. So that initially just stay in contact with the volunteers and keeping updated on doses and how often they've treated them, that sort of thing. So that there's a good record keeping of what's been happening.
Yeah, so I guess part of us going over to Torlinu is really exciting because we can create treatment lines, which we couldn't in Carer HQ. So there'll be specific lines about what wombat you've treated, what date, what dosage, if you've used Brevecto or Cydectin, if there's any toxicity signs, that'll be recorded each time, if they've used dye to identify the wombat. I think it'll be really important for these mange team leaders and you guys as experienced wombat carers to ensure that there isn't any crossover in branch areas. So if you can, put signs up that we can give you that are the simple sign saying a wombat's being treated in this area. So if there are any crossover groups, they know that there's wombats already been treated. If you can use dyes in your burrow flaps, that's always good. And just a lot of communication, so people know, yep, I've got the 2 wombats on Ryan Street. They're being done, and just, I guess, that open communication. If you need help to figure out how best to do that communication, we can definitely talk about it in a meeting, or the mange team leaders can talk and compare ideas and share those ideas with their own branch. I hope that answered the question.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's great.
Leanne, you had your hand up. Diane, quickly, yes, this is Brevecto and Cydectin. You don't need permission from your memo coordinator to nominate. Leanne, did you have a question?
Yeah, so I do. So they're not allowed to, the members of the public, they're not allowed to actually treat the wombats unless we've actually seen the wombats. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think it's really important, especially as they first start, their first few wombats, for you guys to confirm that diagnosis. And I said, if you live an hour from the property or you can't get to them, but they've got really good photos or videos, like, we're pretty comfortable for you guys, you're so experienced to be able to confirm that diagnosis over a photo or video. But yes, certainly we don't want them making their own diagnosis and starting treatment.
Because there's a lot of aggression marks that actually do look like mange that they're not.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
That could be a problem. And I was just thinking, ones that are on the side of the road that I'll sneakily give a Brevecto to and follow them. I didn't want a whole heap of other people seeing the wombat in the same place the next day and doing the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely right. And I think that goes back to the communication that we were saying before with Cara. Like,
Yep.
we need to be able to know what roads people are treating on. And if we do need to create I'm just thinking as we talk, but kind of a live document or a list of addresses that you guys are treating at, we can sort of come up with some kind of template form or something like that, if that'll help. Because I know that going through Carer HQ, it can be a little bit clunky, and even on Tall Emu, you might not be able to easily just look at the addresses. I'm not sure, Rach, jump in if I'm wrong, but we could figure out a sort of a supplementary form for you guys if you think that would help.
Yes.
Okay.
Another question from me.
Yeah.
We have ARC working in our area with wombats as well.
Yep.
So we have to be very careful not to be double dosing with what the ones they're treating. So that could be an issue for us, is that we'd have to make sure that the public weren't, or that these new volunteers weren't treating wombats that ARC were treating, that we didn't know that ARC were treating. So yeah, that's a bit of a concern for me.
Yeah.
But aren't we the only ones that aren't WISE the only ones that are allowed to do this at the moment? They've got to do it through WISE.
Yes, but what if they go out from wires and treat a wombat that ARC's already treating?
Oh, yep, I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
If that is an issue in any other branches where there are two, like I know Mid-South Coast and Wildlife Rescue South Coast share some area as well, we could set up meetings we could reach out to the other organisation. I'm happy to facilitate that and have a chat amongst wombat coordinators between groups and just figure out a way that communication could work, because no one wants to overdose the wombats.
No, we all want to treat the wombats. Yeah.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. Maybe there's some kind of signage that we can use between the groups, or we can all have access to the same form. Let me think on it, but I'm really happy to reach out on everyone's behalf and set up some meetings.
I think the signs sound good.
Yeah.
If if like they could be, I don't know, made of plastic or something, and then like on a pole or a stick, or if the wombats didn't eat them.
Yeah. We could do some printed call flute maybe.
Yes.
Oh, that'd be great.
That'd be good. Yep.
Oh, this is great, guys.
So my question, it's Philip from Wingecarribee in Kangaroo Valley. So there's a big public recreational area where there's lots of mangy wombats. There is the risk of overtreating if we're not careful, because Wildlife South Coast also treat in the area. So I mean, something like if everyone was to use a dye, and the dye was universally accepted, that's a treated wombat, then that reduces the risk of overtreatment, I guess.
How long does the dye last though?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Depends if it's raining.
Yeah.
And I guess that also depends if we're using Brevecto, most people are just using it straight from the pipette. We can dilute it in orange power and mix dye into there, but because you're sort of doing a month gap with Brevecto, the dye definitely wouldn't last a month. So I think maybe the solution is dyes and signage and maybe some communication with groups. So Katie,
there must be something we can put on their bums.
Make it that lasts. Yeah.
So maybe some kind of dye alternative or something that's longer lasting
bum spot.
Got it. It's going in my notes. Bum spot. Katie, I have seen your notes about iNaturalist and I'll look into it definitely. We also, I think, potentially have some capability to put maps into Tall Emu. I might be telling a fib, but I'll check on that and let you know. Children's acrylic paint, love that. Citron stays on for 5 days plus. Geolocation methodology, the individual wombats, tricky to track wombats, but as I said, maybe we start doing some mapping. Yeah, all really, really good points, guys. Yeah, Tanya, vet has okayed acrylic paint. So I wonder how the acrylic paint would mix with Cydectin.
Oh no, you'd have to use it separately.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay, they're really, really good things. Has anyone else got anything else? Let's keep going. If we've got any other issues we can solve, just do a separate blob. Yeah, awesome.
Yep.
Okay, well, I think if everyone's pretty good, I mean, such a fantastic attendance tonight, guys, 55 of you. I'm so happy. And as I said, I'm so proud of everyone that's been involved in this. You guys work so hard on the ground, and I truly hope this helps. And we're really committed to investing more and more in mange. We'll keep investing in research. We'll keep trying to raise funds so the mange fund is nice and healthy, so you guys don't have to worry about fundraising within your branches for Cydectin or anything like that. I'm getting more Brevecto shipped to us at the moment. I know we were only able to send out a really small amount per branch. I've got another 500 doses on the way. Fingers crossed it's already in the post. We'll be sending that out soon. They've agreed to another whole lot of doses than the original agreement was, which is absolutely fantastic. They've come to the table about that. I've also got an update on the $2.8 million government funding. It's meant to be coming out in the 4th quarter of this year. So we'll either start to see it at the end of the year, or we'll get it at the start of next year. So we'll let you guys know how much we get from that and what we can do with it. I assume it's just going to be equipment and medication, but that's great. And then might be able to use some of the mange fund for other things that we need, potentially more signage or Facebook ads or even more cameras. We'll have a think about how we want to spend that money to best benefit you guys on the ground.
I did have something else about the Brevecto. Can we get the smaller ones as well? We only got the 20 kilo plus. Is there any chance that we can get the smaller ones?
Yeah, the small or medium?
Well, both probably.
Yeah.
I suppose the small ones we can actually get a vet to do it if we get the Joeys in and they've got mange, but maybe the medium size, because some of the ones that we see actually aren't 20 kilos.
Yeah, absolutely. We can ask that in our next batch. We are probably getting all large for the next one, just because it's already been organized, but we can ask in the one after that, definitely.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's okay. Anyone else before we wrap this up? Okay, cool. Well, thank you guys so much. This has been absolutely fantastic. You've been so engaged, and we've just come up with some really, really good ideas. I'm so happy. As I said, we'll be in touch by the end of the week to share the position description, and hopefully this will be announced publicly by the end of the month or early October. If anyone did miss this webinar that you think would be interested in being involved in the program, obviously we expect normal members that treat mange to still kind of be involved, even if they're not going to be the mange team leader. So please tell everyone in your branch, and we'll send out this recording as well. And thank you so much for coming. We really, really appreciate all the work you do, and we really hope this helps. So have a lovely evening, and we will speak to you soon.
Night.
Night. Thank you.
Right.
Bye.
Thanks, Kristie. Amazing.
Bye, Kristie. Bye.
Thank you.
Kristie.